Okay, so this is the start of your one-on-one coaching in writing. So you pick the task description. Do you agree or disagree? Because more and more young people are studying and working overseas. This will help bring greater international cooperation. So what we're going to do for now, we're going to read the entire writing task, and then I will correct the errors. Okay, and I will explain the errors so that the next time around you will avoid committing exactly the same mistake. So many of the youth emigrate from their native countries with the aim to gain. Okay, you need to understand that the word to is always followed by the simple form of the word. That is why we have to remove ed. So to gain international qualification. Why do we need to put an S after qualification? So, in writing, we always write everything in the plural form. It's easier that way. I'll give you an example. If you're going to write something in the singular form, a student must consider his or her parents' decisions before he or she decides whether he or she will go abroad or not. That is grammatically correct, but that is silly. Now, compare that to something like this. Students, plural, must consider their parents' decisions before they decide whether to go abroad or not. Also grammatically correct, but appears more scholastic. Okay? So, always write everything in the plural form. And eventually, secure job. Why did I write to here? For parallelism's sake, you wrote to gain international qualifications, and to secure. Why did I write a? A is an article that denotes singularity. So if you are looking for a job, so we have to specify, we have to write the article a. Now let's move on. This trend is common in third world country. Okay, how many countries are there? Apparently 200. That's why I'll use the same argument here. I said you add the letter S, so here we make it plural countries. We are in. I've mentioned this during the final coaching, that according to some examiners, the word we're in is Old English. So the English of today requires you to drop in. Where is the preferred word? So, where opportunities are given by the developed nation. I added S, same argument, write everything in the plural form. But why did I encircle given by? It's not as if the opportunities are given by the developed nations. The opportunities are in the developed nations or offered by the developed nations. Okay? So the problem here is not grammar. The concern this time is vocabulary. So let's continue. To my mind, the scenario create. Scenario, that is singular. Create is plural. So subject verb agreement, singular noun, singular verb. So scenario creates. It's usually the letter S that denotes a singularity. So creates positive impact. The partner of impact is not to, but it's on. So on the lives of the individuals. It's the third time for exactly the same paragraph that I'm suggesting you write S to make the noun plural. So individuals, as well as promotion of international relationship. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. There are a lot of stories from young people that studying abroad develop. Okay. The subject here, the noun, it's actually studying abroad, and that is singular. So write S, develops. It's the act of studying, we make it singular. Develops long-lasting friendships among international students. They learn about each other culture. Okay, each other's. The possessive form. Others, cultures, traditions, and beliefs. That serve a venue. Serve as. Okay, you put as here. Serve as a venue to be flexible and accept differences. Those who spend. Okay. Why spent? You started with the present tense. Let me just double check because I'm not certain how the sentence ended. So those who spent some time abroad profit from their personality development in terms of growing openness and emotional stability. Wait a minute. Okay. Those who spend some time abroad profit, because that's plural, from their personality development in terms of growing openness and emotional stability. Okay. I spoke to an examiner and she told me in terms of it's not really something that they encourage because it means you are not sure. How do we improve that one? Profit from their personality development. Profit from their personality development, resulting in growing openness and emotional stability. Okay? So it's a matter of playing with words to ensure that we remove the words that some examiners don't want to see. On top of this, the knowledge, skills, and cultural experiences acquired from studying can significantly boost students' level of employability. Okay, correct. So I like it that in the next paragraph, you started with a connective. So I'll put a check mark right here. Remember, for coherence and cohesion, the examiners are looking for connective words, and in addition is one of them. So in addition, the role of migrant workers are vital. Okay, stop. The subject here is not workers. The subject here is role, which means to say the role is vital in the economy. For example, in the Philippines. Okay, I have nothing against the Philippines. It's just that you are a Filipino taking the test in the Philippines. So we expect that 99% of Filipinos taking the IELTS in this country always mention Philippines as the example. In order to get 7 in writing, you must stand out from the rest. If you could possibly present examples, like in Norway, in Canada, in Kenya, in Nigeria, because it shows you are well informed. You are aware of what's happening not just in the Philippines, but also overseas. The economy is in good position today. Okay, let me encircle the word good. Good, yes, it's found in the English dictionary. But this is a word you cannot use in the IELTS. Because according to examiners, it's too generic. Look for a word which is more specific. So, let's go back. The economy is in blank position. The economy is stable, or there is a robust economic growth. But we do not want to mention Philippines. Let's think of Vietnam. Because right now, the Philippine economic growth is at 6.7 to 7.1%, but Vietnam is 6.4%. At least it is an example outside of the Philippine context. So, because of the growth in size of remittances, wait a minute. Growth of remittances. It's not really the size. Yeah. But growth of the remittances from the Filipino overseas workers. In the recent report, money sent by migrants in the... That's fine. Hits $2.7 billion in 2016. Okay. You don't have to write 2 after hits. Or perhaps reached 2.7 billion in 2016. That uplift the financial system of the country. Okay. That, wait a minute. Because it's something that happened in 2016. So, that improved the financial condition, not the system. Because the system is like how something works. In this case, it's not the system, it's the condition in general. Moreover, the individual families of overseas, you write workers, you forgot. Overseas what? Workers or employees were able to utilize, okay, to, again, you always use the simple form of the verb. So, to utilize the money to pay for food and education. In this way, they experience better quality of life. Having international students ensure people-to-people connections, a critical element. Okay, a singular, elements plural, which means to say a critical element in sustaining bilateral relationships. In other words, studying and working abroad benefits us all to uphold collaboration among countries. Okay. Task response, coherence, cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. So apparently they are the 4 criteria that examiners use in assessing your performance. So let's start with task response. Were you able to complete the writing task? Yes. Were you able to reach at least 250 words? Yes. Number 3, were you able to answer the question? I thought so. Because you were able to give substantive arguments. Were you able to present an example? Yes, there's the Philippines, but my only recommendation for you the next time around, think of something else, but not the Philippines. For you to show the examiner that you are well informed. So here, for task response, I am giving you a grade of 7, which is, by the way, safe, because there are certain examiners, so don't give higher than 7. Okay? What about coherence and cohesion? It's very organized. 1 paragraph, 2 to 4 sentences, and you wrote a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 paragraphs. So in the actual examination, you are highly recommended to write 4 to 5 paragraphs. So what you did here is actually very appropriate for the IELTS. I also noticed that you have connective words like to my mind. You also wrote in addition. You wrote for example. So all of them contribute to a 7 for coherence and cohesion. But personally, I felt it's the last 2 criteria that pulled me down. Why? For lexical resource, so opportunities are not given by the developed nations. And then we want you to avoid in terms of. And then the word good is too simple. Obviously, we are not grade 1 pupils. We are professionals. So we have to think of a word more specific than that. And then it's not the financial system that improved. It's the financial condition. So 4 errors in vocabulary. So most likely that is a grade of 6 per lexical resource. Now what about grammatical range and accuracy? Let's count the errors here. So to gain